Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Wally Mitchell on this cool Saturday in November the 22nd. We'll have 3 games here on the rinks north side tonight, starting off in the Developmental League and advancing to the freshmen for a pair of freshman matchups to close out the night. Kicking us off on this Saturday night, we have Northport against East Islip in the DVL. Northport 5-2 record, East Islip 2-6. And Northport have much of their record to thank to Giovanni DeMarco. He has been nothing short of a revelation for the Tigers. 15 goals in 7 games for DeMarco. Tack on 8 assists for a total of 23 points for Giovanni. Gio DeMarco has been fantastic. Nick Schlendorf, second on the team in points, has 12 in 7 games, not bad. And Dan Sessa has 7 in 7 games. There for Daniel Sessa. For your goaltenders, it's been a combination effort of Max Higbee and Evan Coggins, with Coggins getting the bulk of the game started. But Higbee appearing in 4 such games. Coggins 7. On the East Islip end of things, they are led by Connor Ivers. 14 points in 8 games played for Ivers. Second on the team in points is Penny. And matter of fact, both Penny bros are up next, James and Patrick. Patrick with 9 points in 6 games played. 8 games played. 13 points for James in 7 games played. As for how these teams have fared leading into the matchup, see if we'll get an anthem soon. We might, as they're lining up. So that's what we're going to do. The starting lineups are about to be read, and we're about to have an anthem. And so with that, I'll step aside and I'll get into what these teams have been up to lately heading into this matchup here tonight, as you're listening live here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Wally Mitchell. Stay tuned here as we get to the anthem. Hockey is on its way. And with the conclusion of the anthem, let's dive into what these teams have been up to. East Islip coming off one of their best wins of the season, an 8-3 victory against Longwood. That was a good response to a 6-3 loss to rival West Islip. Prior to that, they got their second win of the season, first win of the season against Connecticut Sayville by a score of 6-3. So that's how you get to 2-6. It was 5 straight consecutive losses to start the season for EI. Oh, we got it there. Oh, we got there. Anyway, for Northport Huntington, they started off the season winning 4 of their first 5 games. They defeated Longwood most recently 4-3. last Saturday. They too fell to West Islip by a score of 6-5 as we're set for action here tonight on the North Rink. East Islip and Northport Huntington, a battle between 5th place and 4th place in the standings despite the record disparities. As a wrist shot is gloved and held. The starting goaltenders tonight, well, you got a good look there at EI, as that's Luke Vigliotta, and Evan Coggins in net for Northport Huntington. It's in the near corner. Graham Tumultich forechecking in after it. Pinching in at the blue line is Sesa. Rolls out of the zone. James Maloney gets to it, and Maloney dumps in for the Tigers. He got hit into the boards. He's slow to get up right in front of the East Islip bench. He's still on the ground. The ref waiting to blow his whistle as EI get possession. He'll do just that, and not putting much pressure on that right leg is Maloney. We hope, of course, he is okay and it's nothing major. Optimism helping to breed the optimism is that he was able to get over to the bench under his own power. It's always a good sign when a player is able to do that at any given level. Comes all the way down to the left of Coggins in the near corner, attempting to bank it along was defenseman Greesh. Ivers in the way of it. Now Northport Huntington clear. It's Penny of the James variety catching up with it. Makes a couple of nice moves up ice. Penny shrugging off some forecheck. Throws one across. Coggins there to make the save. Out to Ivers. Loads up. Fires. Glove save made. Coggins. And Northport Huntington able to clear. Falling to the ice, Greesh. Not before he got the puck out of the zone. Chasing after it, Ryan McBrarity. As James Penny moves it forward. And now a stoppage in play. As we're just past 2 minutes gone by in the hockey game. No score between EI and Northport Huntington. Northport Huntington going to get a power play here. Represented as the road team tonight. It's James Penny off for interference. So his brother naturally has the puck here, and that being Patrick. Now Caleb Hay lost it. Loose down in front. Covered up by the EI netminder, Luke Vigliotta. Ensuing draw to the left of Vigliotta. Hammered toward the net. Never made it on by Sesa. Controlled now by Schlendorf. And offside are the Tigers. With 1:19 left to go on the power play advantage. And 12:19 left to go in the first period. Face off just outside the EI zone as Twisted Sisters I Want to Rock plays throughout the arena. Nice Long Island band there. Dee Schneider. Wonder what they're up to. It's getting to be the Christmas time of year. I'll never forget the first time I was introduced to their Christmas album. It's probably what you expect if you know anything about Twisted Sister. Walton for EI, attempting to clear, does. Walton on the year thus far for EI has 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points. They rely on him in all areas of the ice. Punching it along in behind is Sepulveda. But it rolls on back to be controlled by Tumulty. Tumulty eventually lost it to Ivers, and Ivers will flip it between the defense all the way down to the left of Coggins. Amos on it. Intercepted by Ivers. Right wing side Ivers toward the front of the net as a man save. Rebound save. Coggins. Best chances for either side. It came right as the power play was set to expire. Short-handed opportunities for East Islip to get one on the board. Turned away twice by the Northport Huntington netminder Evan Coggins. 10:39 left, first period, still no score, and it's due in large part to the Tiger Tendy. One more look. Ensuing face-off rolls back to the near point. Flanagan can't get a handle on it. And now James Penny will chip it up the wall. Hammered in by Irizarry. Going north with it, number 17, Owen Schoof. Off the backhand and repossessed by Bruckner. Schlendorf can't get in. And now Schoof will dump in. Carried up the ice with speed. James Penny. Penny checked off the puck at the last moment. They will say it's a penalty against Greesh, but you could also argue Greesh might have prevented a quality. I mean, he did prevent a quality chance. Might have even prevented a goal there. Slash is the call against Greesh here. Let's get at the official call. I was just reading the ref's body language as he signs the call. It's a power play EI, their first of the night. And it's sent past the stick of Penny and out of the zone. Slashing is indeed the call on Michael Greesh. Ivers is in. Ivers forced around. Dangles in. It's underneath. Coggins and out in front of him now by virtue of his defenseman. Great opportunity for EI to get on the board. Again, they come up empty. Ivers backhands in, cut off by Sesa. He was the defender who poked it from behind Coggins to in front of Coggins in the crease area. After Connor Ivers nearly got EI on the board and his 10th of the year, but it would not be, as Sesa hammers it out of the zone to the opposite side of the ice, the far side for us in our camera view, as well as the fans and family here in attendance. Ivers on the backhand. Ivers far circle, sweeps it across. A shot from Penny denied by Coggins, using the noggin, I think, that time. Penny holds in. James Penny across to Ivers. Ivers dangles. Ivers shot. Scores! 10th of the year. He would not be denied. Connor Ivers on the power play. 1-0 EI. Great job to dangle, create open space for himself. Patrick Penny will pick up the assist, not James Penny. Patrick Penny, 15, not 14. As Sepulveda gives it away, and nearly an opportunity going the other way here for Northport Huntington. They have been without their leading scorer for the entire first half of this period. They might be without him the entire game. Again, I'm not sure. As Avery Walsh had it, lost it. Chance going the other way for Northport Huntington. However, Schlendorf couldn't quite get around the defense. Now Sepulveda to himself. Sepulveda's in. Sepulveda near circle, fires wide. And he's frustrated. He had room far side, a lot of it. So he had the right idea, just missed it wide. And don't you worry, Sepulveda. Of course, that all comes with time. You're in the developmental division, of course, and that's where you, well, develop. Face off to the right of Coggins. Spun around, held in at near point by Hay. Hay down low, Ivers dangles, fires, and might have caught the shoulder of Coggins before it went over the net. Puck just laying there, and getting to it first is Sesa, but they're going to say another penalty is being called against Northport Huntington. And off to the box is Ryan McBrady. A power play here for EI. They're 1 for 1 tonight. Puck in behind, Ivers swept it toward Coggins, made the save, and cleared out of the zone all the way down. Solid clear there from Graham Tumulty. Walton off the end of his stick, hammered the other way, right on to the stick of James Penny. James can't establish the zone any more than he had. Walton now with it, has Ivers to his right. Walton takes a shot, and it's gloved by Coggins, who will hold on to it. Whistle comes before he released it, so the faceoff will go as planned. .5:30 left first period. Minute 12 left on the second EI power play of the period. Avery Walsh steps up. Ivers backhand shot wide. Patrick Penny lost it. Nice defensive play made by the Tigers and Daniel Sesa. However, he lost it before he could clear. Ivers back. He falls down. Does he stay with it? The puck in the crease, swept away by the outstretched stick of Coggins. Now another big collision in the near corner. Puck worked free. Put off the back of the net by Patrick Penny, and unable to hold in is Avery Walsh all the way down. It's now the other Penny, James, with 30 seconds to go on the power play for EI. James to Patrick. Backhanded to Walton. Walton has it taken away by Tumulty, not out of the zone yet, held in by James Penny, and now cleared for good by Tumulty. All the way down, it is in the feet and played on with the glove by Vigliota. Ivers around the net. Cut off. Nice play, Tumulty. who gets on it here. And will backhand out of the zone. Avery Walsh in onside play here. Wrists it to the opposite corner. Cusack backhands it down into the corner in which the puck had just been. Now work to the near side. Walsh stepping up from her defensive position. Irizarry lets a wrist shot go. It's blocked off the shin guard of Grish and skated free by Tumulty, who lifts it ahead and went off an EI stick. Off the stick of Irizarry, to be particular. Into the zone, thus with no icing. Walsh with Tumulty forechecking. Handled at the line by Schoof. Schlendorf battles his way down the left wing side. Comes away with the puck. Makes a nice move. Schlendorf scores! No! No signal. I don't know. It would have been a highlight reel goal, and there is no goal. And they are gonna review it? Or there's two penalties. There's two penalties. And you see the beginning of that aftermath. In the box currently for EI is, try to see, make out that number. I believe it's, yeah, 35 Avery Walsh in the box for EI. And in the box for Northport Huntington is, I believe, Michael Grish. Trying to get things sorted out here. A 1-0 game. EI leads on a goal scored by Connor Ivers, his 10th of the season. Face-off out of the zone and will stay 5 aside. Good move. Pass across. Shot. Scores! Dean McKellion! Off a great feed across. Ties the game at 1 for Northport. And look at that pass right on the tape from McKellion. And a one-time shot, does not wait to settle it down. Through the wickets of goaltender Vigliota. We're tied at 1. McKellion from Schlendorf. A great pass there from Nicholas Schlendorf. McKellion the goal. The equalizing goal. His 3rd of the season. As Schlendorf collects assist number 10 and point number 13. Sepulveda. Banked it to himself, and one of the EI players jumped offside. Throw some time back on the clock. 1:58 left here in the first period. We're now tied at 1. Between EI and NH. Or as we designate, NPH. Just NH on the jerseys. Which I always thought was like, well, wouldn't they think it's North Huntington? But I don't think there is a North. Is there a North Huntington? I suppose there could be a North anything. North Pole getting a lot of traction. As Ivers brings it across the line. Ivers around a few sticks. Ivers wrist shot, scores! Connor Ivers second of the game. Another great individual effort. Gives EI a 2-1 lead. And survived a number of stick checks. Still had a defender out in front. Perhaps one Coggins would want back. He has made some great saves thus far tonight. A big collision right in front of the Northport Huntington bench. Northport Huntington fans want to call. They're not going to get one. Schlendorf brings it around. Oh, into the zone. Lost the handle. And now skated to center by Irizarry. Irizarry down the right wing side. Near side boards. Flung on for the front of the net. Batted by the glove of Coggins. Settled down. And banked along by East Islip's Schmalacker. And now carried to center by Bruniker. Now a wrist shot. It's underneath the pad of goaltender Vigliota. .44 seconds remain in the first period. Pair of Connor Iver goals have EI on top 2-1. Banked to center by the Chiefs. Hustling after it is Long. Getting there first, however, Sesa. And he rips it off the near boards and to center. James Penny. Dumps in. Comes over to the far corner. Patrick Penny there. They both go down, both being Penny and the defender Tumulty. Flanagan inserts himself into the play along with Walton as we come to the end of the first period. 2-1 EI on a pair of Connor Iver's goals. Lone goal for Northport Huntington belonging to Dean McKellion. As 15 minutes down, 30 minutes to go, another 15 in the form of the second period on its way. Right here and only on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, cameraman Wally Mitchell. Be back with you in just a moment. So don't go anywhere.
Supersonic Sweets. That's my favorite. That's my new favorite. I had to show my friend. I was telling my friend about Jack for the first time. Travis is going off on that. He's in a bad mood, I guess. What was he in a bad mood for?
Well, when I was there as the intern, we messaged the call. It was like, Travis is
Who messaged it to Paul?
The intern referred to it as like, yo, who was that guy? He looked like he's from the streets. He's got like a mustache.
oh my god. He said that's you? Yeah, see, I was expecting straight.
I thought something like that happened. I mean, he seems like very. He seems like.
Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 2-1 after one. Second period underway, and immediately an icing against Northport Huntington. So faceoff comes down to the right of their goaltender Evan Coggins. Greesh attempts to rip it along. Sepulveda holds in near point, tapped on to Ivers off the stick of Iliano. Iliano calling for it in the high slot. It's taken away, however, by Northport Huntington, and coming out of the zone with it here for the Tigers is James Maloney. It's great to see him again. Or I apologize. That's not 7, it's 17. Owen Schoof. So no Maloney. He has been on the bench since sustaining what appear to be a knee or leg injury. As the NHL would put it, lower body. Which I love that, lower body and upper body injury. Real specific. Meanwhile, the NFL, he's got a broken right clavicle. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, okay. I didn't even know what a clavicle was. Anyway, 14:09. Hay trying to play it up and emerging with the puck. It's Sesa walking. Sesa to the backhand. Score! Is it? Is it? Is it? It is! He scores! Daniel Sesa! What an individual effort! Ties the game at 2. Oh, they had us all in suspense there, didn't they? I got the replay. And Sesa around the defender to the backhand, off the post, off the, I guess, rear end of goaltender Vigliota, and into the net. There it is. There's the signal at the very end of it. We're tied at 2. Goal for Sesa is 5th of the season. And it doesn't get much more prettier than that. Pushed across now for Bruckner. He scores! And the Tigers take the lead. It's another great seam pass in which we see a goal. We saw a few of them here. Collected by Bruckner, who fires, and that goes in and out in the blink of an eye. Wasn't sure if it was a goal. I waited for the official again to rule what it was, and he says goal. It's a goal for Nolan Bruckner. And for Nolan, it is his first of the season. An absolute bullet past the goaltender Vigliota. .12:43 left, second period. Tigers, who have trailed in the game to this point, 1-0 and 2-1, have their first lead of the night. Sepulveda trying to change that narrative. Fired wide. Walton spun it back toward the front of the net, taken away by Sesa. Sesa trying to clear. He can't. Walton has it back. Backhand shot toward the front of the net. Big chance. Petty. Petty denied by Coggins. Kind of ran out of room. Now long shot from Walsh. Goes wide. And fired past Sepulveda, who tried to make a play on it. Doesn't matter. We have an icing. .12:09 left here in the middle period. Listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Branigan alongside our cameraman Wally Mitchell. Be sure to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Tons of great stuff happening on there. Curated by our cameraman himself, Wally Mitchell. He also produces a podcast that gets uploaded to our YouTube channel. New episode dropped last night called the Rinks and Realities podcast, hosted by my two friends, Travis Quigley and Paul Trentini. Here is Ivers to the backhand, scores! Hat-trick goal, Connor Ivers. And it seems that each goal he scores gets prettier than the last. This one, look at the dangles. Whoop. To the forehand. All right, I'm going to go to the backhand. Oh, wait, there's a defender. Doesn't matter. And around the pads of Evan Coggins. We've seen some gorgeous goals here tonight at the DVL level. The Sesa goal. Really, all three Connor Ivers goals. Tied now at once again, 3 apiece. Tied at 1. We were tied at 2. Makes sense. We'll be tied at 3. Skating it in hard. Multi to Multi. This one toward the front of the net. Denied. Trying to jump on it. And he couldn't. And no, it's not in. I don't know how. Great defensive stick, I think, from Walsh or Sepulveda. I'm not sure which. I believe saved a goal. And now taken down, followed up. Ivers scores! Connor Ivers! An incredible effort. His 4th of the night. 4-3 EI. It looked like he was out of the play. He stuck with it. He's fired up. Ivers from Cusack. 4-goal night for Connor Ivers. He's up to 13 on the season. And for Robert Cusack, who picks up the assist, his 2nd assist of the year, and 6th point. Back to the point for a wrist shot. Hit a body in front. And now sent out of the zone on for Schmalacher. Schmalacher has it taken from behind by Amis. And now back in the control of Iai Irizarry. Left wing side, Irizarry. Schmalacher in support. Gets by him, however. Hay, though, wisely at the red line. In defense of his pinching defender. And now Irizarry, and it'll check from behind, strips Sesa of the puck. We're over 5 minutes gone here, 2nd period. 4-3 EI lead. Pushed it along your Schoof. Schoof around Hay. Pardon me, that's Amis. Amis centers. Nobody home. Get a good stick on it for Northport Huntington. Here's Ragusio. Intercepted. Irizarry long shot. Pushed around by Coggins. And now a delayed penalty coming against East Islip. And working his way up the ice, Schlendorf with speed. Schlendorf, stick handling. Schlendorf, shot wide. Puck available behind the net. Schlendorf says, I'll be having that. Takes it away. And now we get a whistle and stoppage in Northport Huntington. We'll go back to the power play. In terms of power plays, it'll be their 2nd opportunity. They're 0 for 1 tonight. Chance to tie the game once more for Northport Huntington as they make a goaltending change halfway through the game tonight. Coggins out, Higbee on. Yeah, one of the Northport Huntington parents saying that Grease shall be released from the box because it has been more than 10 minutes, and I gotta say, it certainly feels that way. It's definitely been more than 10 IRL, real life minutes. Is there a free Greece movement going on over here to my right? And now what's going on here? What is going on here? Mergussio's in the box for roughing. That was the original penalty. It was going to be a power play for Northport Huntington. Psych, that's not happening anymore. And that's because there's been an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty assessed to Northport Huntington. And it doesn't specify against who, so I'm assuming it's the coaching staff. Maybe they were trying to join free Greece. Greece is not in the box. It's McBrarity. Ryan McBrarity's in the box. Free McBrarity should be the call anyway. EI push it along and speed along. Here's Long chasing after it. He gets there, tries to flip it out in front, goes hard into the backboards. He's up, he's okay. Held in near point Flanagan. Had it taken from behind by Schlendorf, who makes a nice move. Schlendorf carries in. Another nice move. Schlendorf couldn't get around James Penny. And now Penny to himself. Left wing side. Penny is in. Penny stopped. Save made Higby. What a way to come into the game. First shot faced. It's a breakaway. It's James Penny. Makes a nice move to the backhand, and getting the left pad out was Higby. And now it's another penalty. It's against EI, and the Northport Huntington power play that was promised will occur here. As Penny goes off for the same penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct. You have to be sportsmanlike out there, don't you know? Here we go. Power play Tigers. Chance to tie the game. I've said this before, but now it's true. Held in at the line, but unfortunately right back onto an EI sticking out. Nice move there by Schoof, but nothing really to show for it. As the Stony Brook horns are going, as the ACHA M1 team takes on Syracuse to my rear. You could catch that game live here on LI Sports Network. Or if you want to listen to our very own Kevin Broderick. Whoa, big blank there is Ivers shorthanded. Ivers on the backhand. Just toward the front of the net, and a good stick check preventing the shot from Sepulveda. Or pardon, that was Irizarry. Meanwhile, here's Northport Huntington. They sweep it along. McKellian. He's got one of the 3 goals for the Tigers tonight. Brought it in back behind and now cleared by EI. And their 4-goal scorer, Connor Ivers. As I was saying prior, you want to listen to Kevin Broderick, who one of the voices you're certainly familiar with. You listen to LI Sports Network in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. I believe it'll be Kevin and I on Monday at the rinks. Could be wrong. It could be someone else. But I thought I saw Kevin on the sketch. Anyway, he's calling the Stony Brook radio broadcast as firing that shot wide. Was Sesa. Now Greece, a shot, deflects, save, rebounds available. Toe, and went just wide. Nearly a second goal for McKellian. And Sesa lets another one rip, deflected, and pounced on by the East Islip goaltender, Vigliota. There's 1 second left, not 0. There we go, 1 second. And penalty is ended. We're back to even strength. But it takes a minute to get back into the play. Iliano is officially back into the play. And Connor Ivers officially has the puck and he brings it around a defender. Chips it to himself down the right wing side. Connor Ivers around another. Ivers denied by Higbee. Rebound stabbed at. Also denied by Higbee. Another great rush up ice there from Connor Ivers. And it was a second effort attempt there from, that's number 71, Cusack, with that extra jab. And Tiger fans, am I right, applauding the Ryan McBrarity's out of the box. Here's Tumulty. Tumulty is in. Tumulty scores! He hit him with the changeup. Graham Tumulty ties the game at 4 and picks up goal number 1 of the season. Oh, no. He really did. Well, if Kucherov popularized the no-shot move, there's certainly a room for a change-up play, as you saw there. Sent in by Flanagan, handled by Greesh. Greesh up ahead to be smacked along by Amis, held in by EI and Avery Walsh. Controlled here by Schlendorf. Schlendorf around Walton to the backhand. Stick lifted by Walsh. However, Schlendorf powers through and now held in at the line and sent down low by Schaaf. Flanagan. And a bank ahead from his knees there from Flanagan ahead to Patrick Penny. Penny has it poked away from him by a combination of Amis and Greesh. Penny down low, battling away with Greesh there as well for Northport Huntington. Patrick Penny, Walton loads up, fires wide. Flanagan try to get there along the near point, had it poked away from him. Walton in a foot race with McKellian. Walton will win it, spins it up ice, knocked down by Schlendorf. A whistle comes, I'm not sure why. They might have too many players on the ice for Northport Huntington. That could be the penalty, and I believe it is. Tough break for Northport and Huntington. They've had a couple of bench minors here tonight. And this most recent one, 4 too many players on the ice. Tied at 4. McBrarity will serve the penalty. I assume he's gotten rather comfortable in the penalty box here tonight. Thrown out in front, rejected from in front of the net. To the line, not out. Wrist shot by Ivers, doesn't get through the mess of traffic in front. Reminiscent of a nice trip home coming east on the LIE at around 4 o'clock. If you know, you know, and I wish you didn't know. I wish I didn't know either. Sent down ice will be an icing against East Islip. So minute 22 remain on the power play. .313 in the game. 3:12. It is somewhere. It is in the skate. Wally, can you get a zoom in on that? It's out of it now. But Wally right there. In the skate. It's still there. Wally, can you zoom in? It's still there. There it is. It's out. All right. How about that? Right in the. Is there a name for that, Wally? the midsection, in the space between the blade and the rest of the skate. I don't know, it should have a name. If the tip of my shoelace is called an aglet, that certainly should have a name. Shout out Phineas and Ferb. Anyway, face off, controlled by Ivers and EI. Ivers trying to break out. He's got the red line. Ivers in his skates, flips across ice to the near side, where James Penny collects and walks in. Around Greesh, out in front, nobody home just yet. Now a backhand shot taken by Cusack is denied by Higbee. 51 seconds left on the power play for East Islip due to too many players being out on the ice for Northport Huntington. Fascinating stat in this 4-4 game. So Connor Ivers has all 4 goals for EI. No other player between both teams has more than a single point in the contest. Fascinating, isn't it? No, you're not interested? Well, I am. Anyway, here's Sesa. He'll clear. James Penny expecting it. Picks up speed to the neutral zone. Penny. Penny to the outside. Penny. Flat across. Save made. Stuff and try. That doesn't work. It might work on a turkey. It's not working on Higbee. And there's a little. Gets the crowd going, does Higbee. .13 seconds remaining on the power play for EI. Loose in the circle. Comes out. James Penny. Battling Greesh. Goes down. Irizarry. Flipped up to the point. Held in by Hay. Loads up, fires. Blocked down in front. Through a sea of bodies. Sesa fans on it. Ragusia's there as well for EI. Sent out of the zone, out of the boxes. McBrarity, and he's unable to penetrate the EI zone. And across to Irizarry. Over his stick, battles Greesh. Now on for McBrarity to bank ahead. McBrarity has iced the puck. $1:20 left here in the second period. All square at 4 apiece on the LI Sports Network. Be sure to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Last night's best, among other great things, can be found there. I'm just speaking to the Instagram because that's all I have. Over the stick of Sepulveda, out of the zone. Ivers will try to flip ahead, and after it hit the linesman, Avery Walsh's attempt successful. There's Ivers out of nowhere. He's in. He's stopped by Higbee. Rebound taken around by Ivers. Still available, and now out of the zone. What a save by Max Higbee on Connor Ivers in search of goal number 5. If he scores his 5th, you better believe I'm calling him Connor Fivers. It just writes itself, doesn't it? Schoof for Sesa. Sesa try to go near side. Had McBrarity. McBrarity lifting the stick of Walsh. Does collect the puck, but all of that positive flowing momentum had come to a screeching halt. Schmalacher try to bring that one ahead. Schmalacher back on it. He's got it at the red line. Dangles and unable to get around Sesa. Sesa lost it to Ivers. Now Walsh. Backhands ahead to Ivers. We come to a close in the second period. 4-4 after 2. A decisive third period is on its way. Right here on LI Sports Network. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Ryan Brannigan, cameraman Wally Mitchell, there to zoom in on all those pucks in weird places. We'll be back for the third period right after this. Well, welcome back to the Rinks and Ophog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 4-4 at the end of the second period. Third period is on its way. You got to see that save again made by Higbee on Connor Ivers late in the second period. Ivers has been the most prominent player on the ice for East Islip here tonight, but I mean, Schlendorf has had himself a game. Sesa, definitely more of a group effort for Northport Huntington to get their 4 goals. McKellian, Bruckner, both their first goals of the season as well. Or pardon me, McKellian, it was not his first. He had 2 prior. It was first, though, for Nolan Bruckner. First for Graham Tumulty, I believe. Double check that. Yep, Tumulty had 5 assists heading into the contest, no goals. Now he's got a goal. Flip down and Flanagan to Hay. Hay into the zone. Knocked down by Sesa. No icing. Flanagan first on it in the near corner for EI. Loose puck available. Shot, scores! Schlendorf! It's 5-4 Northport Huntington. Tough play for a goaltender to make. There for Vigliota. Sent into the zone. Flanagan with it. We're just past the 2-minute mark in the third period, and the Northport Huntington Tigers have their second lead of the evening. Connor Ivers unable to get a stick on it. Schlendorf from Griesch is the goal. And finally, Northport Huntington have a player with more than a point here tonight. It'll be Schlendorf with a goal and an assist. Here's Ivers, bumped off the puck by Griesch. Nice play made by the Northport defender, and then Ivers runs into his own teammate. Iliano got absolutely blasted by his teammate Ivers. Iliano's up, seems to be okay. Banked back for Flanagan, trying to go to himself along the far boards. Puck still loose and available. Griesch, though, ensures it gets to McBrarity, who risks one on goal, blockered away. By Vigliota. Flanagan in the skates of Iliano. Cusack backhands it up ice. It's available to be had and is had by Ivers. Is in. Ivers shot, scores! Connor Ivers, his 5th of the game. 5-5 now is the score. And after trying to deke Higbee on the last breakaway attempt, Ivers adjusts, says I'm going shot, and he beats Higbee this time. 5-5, Ivers from Cusack. Cusack collects his 2nd assist of the game. as he put that puck into open ice for Ivers to jump on and finish. Sepulveda had it checked off his stick. Raguseo trying to make a play on it. Now Sesa. Sesa with Schlendorf. Sesa has it knocked away. A good defensive play made by EI. And that was Schmalacher making it. Schmalacher cannot clear it just yet. Trying to help things along. Let's go to the shot. They score! Northport Huntington lead once more. As this game is absolutely bonkers. 6-5. Sesa loads up, fires, and that's a goal. You know, that's definitely a goal. Daniel Sesa gets the goal, his second of the game, and it brings his season total up to 6. And more importantly, it gives Northport Huntington their third lead of the night, 6-5. So to catch you up, if you're just joining us, EI, they led it 1-0. They led it 2-1. They led it 3-2. Then Northport Huntington led it 4-3, led it 5-4, and now lead it 6-5. Poked at, flung to the line, and Penny escorts out of the zone. Again, a look at the standings. Sachem are in first place, undefeated, 8-0, with one overtime win. That overtime win came against East Islip, as that puck is saved by Higbee. Northport Huntington have just 7 games played. That is 2 less than the 2 teams they're trailing, and trailing only by 2 points to third place, or only 2 points to second place. KPC has another save made there, and there's the little woo 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 from Higbee. Face off one, Ivers shot, hit a stick, the stick of Greesh. As I was saying though, 6-3 record for KPC. They have 12 points, 9 games played. This is Northport Huntington's 8th game played. They'll be in second place with the win tonight. Win in regulation, I believe. Although with the game in hand, they have, who knows. They do have the 6-5 lead here. Around the net it comes off the stick of Amis. And now Irizarry chasing after it. Sesa chasing as well. And icing, which I didn't realize was in play there, is the call. 8:21 left here in the third period. Face off back down to the left of Luke Vigliota. That shot just missed wide. Ahead long, sends in for EI, and it does have enough for icing there. 8:16 left here in regulation time. Want to remind you all, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the latest podcast dropped by my buddies Travis Quigley and Paul Trentini, Rinks and Realities, right here on LI Sports Network. This week's topic, the SCHSHL, the thing you're watching right now. Produced by Wally Mitchell. McBrarity's shot goes wide. Walton rips around toward the front of the net. Walton getting a skate in. McBrarity hands back. Penny intercepts and springs ahead. Patrick Penny, far circle shot just out of the range of the net, and the outstretched left pad of Higbee. While Walsh, a shot toward the net. Blocked in front by Grease. Grease hustles after it and takes down Walton. Penalty coming. It's going against Northport Huntington. There's the whistle. Power play EI. Down by 1. Late stages, third period. Actually, we're just about at the midpoint of the third period. And timeout has been called. I was looking down at my laptop. Wally, did you see who called timeout? Wally says maybe EI, maybe Northport Huntington. I'm just filming the game. So with that, we'll step aside. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Power play EI coming up out of the timeout break. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog. Power play underway. A quick shot denied. At least I think it was by goaltender Higbee. Ivers has it in the neutral zone. 7:20 to go regulation. Ivers shot, glove save made. Higbee, and Higbee will hold on. Minute 42 left of power play time. 7:14 left, third period. Shot denied by the stick of Higbee. In behind the net. Now here's James Penny. Patrick Penny lifts it cross ice. Avery Walsh for Connor Ivers. Ivers will backhand toward the front of the net. Jumped over the stick. And now cleared out of the zone by Northport Huntington. It had jumped over the stick of Owen Schoof. James Penny first on it. Behind his goaltender, Bigliota. It's Ivers. Challenged from behind by Tumulty. Walton keeps in. Walton trying to stretch the zone. Walton unable to get away from Sesa, who makes a great defensive play and now chips it by Walsh. Sesa shorthanded. Checked into the boards by Penny. Delayed penalty is going to go against, I think, EI. Exactly not what you wanted to happen on the power play, trailing by 1 late in the third period. It's James Penny to the box. And we'll skate 4 aside for 45 seconds. And then an abbreviated power play will go to the Tigers, assuming no other penalties have been called. Fire just wide. Off the face-off win by Northport Huntington, collected by Ivers in the near corner. Ivers with Patrick Penny. Ivers cuts to the middle. Ivers around the poke check. Ivers backhand shot. Save made, and no rebound allowed by Higbee. Interference, the penalty on James Penny, which sent him to the box. Michael Greesh was in there for tripping. Near corner, Walton, checked by Sesa, puck freed to be collected and handled by Kristen. Connor Kristen. And now down goes Kristen behind the play. Kristen in significant discomfort. We wish the best here for Kristen. He's down along the ice. 6-5. 7 seconds remain. Is goaltender Higbee out to comfort him along with a member of the coaching staff. And we'll step aside. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. It's Northport Huntington that lead EI 6-5. So up under his own power onto the bench. You love to see it. Is Kristen. Connor Kristen. 7 seconds. 4-on-4 hockey remain, and then that abbreviated Northport Huntington power play set to begin. One last long flip of a shot denied by Higbee. There's 1 second left of 4-on-4 hockey, but I'm going to do the, I think, smart thing and just go ahead and put in the power play prematurely. It's underway. Immediately iced by Northport Huntington. .5:27 left, third period. 6-5 Northport Huntington leading East Islip. Bolton tries to chip it down further. Instead, it's taken over by Schlendorf, who hits the brakes. Schlendorf with his head up, fires in. Goes around back, handled by Walsh, who reverses out of the reach of Walton. Long shot, hit a stick, save made, and covered up on the rebound. And now a little bit of extracurricular activity going on in front of the net. On the save made by Vigliota. Walton attempting to skate it out of the zone for EI, taken back by Schlendorf. 3-on-2 over the Blues. Schlendorf, and offsides is called. And let me tell you, the Northport Huntington parents to my right are not exactly in agreement with the linesman. Can't say they're big fans of that call, but they've got the authority in the situation. So the puck will be dropped just outside the East Islip zone. D-to-D pass, misfire. Sesa trying to make a play on it. Ivers was coming through. Ivers, all 5 of the East Islip goals tonight. In a game that is 6-5. Schlendorf. Backhands in, past Caleb Hay. Offsides are Northport Huntington, but nobody tells Schlendorf that. Now he got the memo and hustles to the line to touch up. On the delayed offsides, this allows Avery Walsh to skate to center. Now hands off for Ivers. Ivers on the backhand around poke checks. Ivers looking for a shooting lane. Doesn't get one just yet. Ivers out in front. Available puck. Save made Higbee. And Higbee holds on to it as we're back to even strength. 3:50 left here in the third period. Northport Huntington leading EI 6-5. Walton flanked by Long and Patrick Penny for the start of this draw. It's won by Schlendorf. On back, Walton aggressive, trying to get possession of it. Now Long. Try to go back to Flanagan, fell down, but from his prone position outside the zone, holds it in the zone, reaching out the stick. It does come out now. Sesa with Patrick Penny forechecking. Sends around. Carried out by Bruckner. Walton with it. Walton shoved down from behind, goes hard into the boards. No call. James Penny, 3:09 to go. Third period. Good step up at the line by the Northport Huntington defense, and Schlendorf sends it forward to Bruckner. Bruckner in over the line. Caught from behind by Penny. Lifts the stick of Penny. Takes a shove from Walton. And sent to the line, not out. Held in by Griesch near point. Griesch holds in once more. And now Sesa. Battling Long near side. Puck comes to Patrick Penny. Penny shot blocked. Comes on back to brother James. James, Griesch first on it. Griesch receives a hit from Patrick Penny, and now James Penny. That pass blocked. Great read by Sesa. Sesa pulls it around Penny, who checks Sesa, but Sesa, the last left, sends it in deep. Sesa holds in. Far blue. Now McBrady fires. Save made. Rebound blocked. Caught up in the equipment of East Islip and Landon Flanagan. Ivers. Does he have a sixth? Connor Ivers on the backhand. Nudged it out in front. Taken and backhanded over the net by Patrick Penny. Well, he really got under that shot. Keep an eye on the East Islip goaltender, Vigliota. He's not going to get out of the net just yet for the extra attacker. As backhanding it along Schlendorf. Banked along by Schmalacher. Fired into the equipment of Long. Long playing it down to Irizarry. We're under a minute to go in regulation time. Northport Huntington trying to hold on to a one-goal lead. 6-5 to the bench goes Vigliota. Long shot, Ivers blocked. Ivers trying to fight his way through. Wrists it on. Save made. Higby. Rebound. Walton. Never got a shot through. Scrum out in front. Taken away by Ivers. Ivers. Shot. Wide. 35 seconds to play. Sesa on the puck. Bumped into the boards by Walton. And a delayed penalty is going against DI. Max Higby certainly happy about that. As Walton to the box, putting a real damper in any chances for a tying goal for EI. The faceoff comes all the way back down into the EI zone. As soon as I get the empty net icon, he comes back out. And now a timeout has been called by Northport Huntington. They lead by 1. They have an offensive zone draw. There's 29.5 seconds left. In the box is Nico Walton. Northport Huntington poised to improve to 6-2, but they want to make sure that that reality happens here and only on the LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan Wally Mitchell, and what up to Kevin Broderick? He's, as I mentioned, on the call on the other side of the rink. They're in between periods. Stony Brook winning, Kevin. It's tied at 1 after 1. You would know that if you're listening on LI Sports Network. There you go. Head contact. The penalty against Walton. It's a 10-minute misconduct. So another player must go off to the box with Walton to serve the 2 minutes. Walton's night is done, even if they somehow force overtime. As Aussie's Crazy Train sounds throughout the arena. It's a power play for Northport Huntington. Rolls all the way down, will not be an icing. There is no icing here on EI. That's a plus. It's Ivers. Ivers to the net. Ivers backhand deflected wide. Oh, what a chance. Still they have it. Opportunity Petty, never got a shot through. 2 seconds. And that is how the game will end, with Northport Huntington winning a thriller 6-5 over EI to improve to 6-2 and to leapfrog 2 teams in a second place in the developmental standings for East Islip. They let a 5-goal performance from Connor Ivers go without a win on the win column. They lose it 6-5 in one of their better performing games of the season for EI. They once again come up empty on the win column. And that will conclude our coverage here in this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. On behalf of Wally Mitchell, with a guest appearance from Kevin Broderick, I am Ryan Brannigan saying so long. Until next time, as always, have a good night.